Hello, everybody. I just want to let you know that from what I've been told, most of the things that I comment on, most of the things that I hear on the news and online, those are things that we're not able to control because the elite will not let us. These things are things that we can't control because if we were to try and control it, the elite would track us down and kill us within a matter of time. But that's the risk we take when we look for the truth. And each time I try to give my opinion on things in this world, each time I try to give my take on certain things that I hear in the news, there's always that risk that somebody from the government could potentially be watching, and then those people will get the wrong impression, and then they'll try to, well, you know what I'm talking about. But the point I'm trying to make in all this is living in this world, we face so many different ways to perish, so many different ways to die. There are people getting crushed by vending machines, there are meteors falling out of the sky and going through people's hearts. There are people who get hit by soccer balls and end up in a coma and eventually passing away as a result of their head injuries. There are people out there who die in plane crashes and are actually really young and in their prime when they die. There are people who die of drug overdoses. There are people who die of abuse, of neglect, of starvation, of thirst. A lot of those things that we die from, we can't control. But that doesn't mean our doctors can't. The doctors that live in this world were trained to bring people back to life in the event that they were to supposedly go into a state of unconsciousness, at which point it would require surgery or sometimes microsurgery to revive them. Sometimes it requires a defibrillator, it requires shock treatment, and most of the time it works, but some of the time it doesn't. But doctors and politicians and people like that, they have the hardest jobs in the world. Their jobs are the most difficult, the most time consuming, and the most demanding of any other job out there. But back to the point at hand. When we try to control the things that we can't control, we end up fighting a losing battle. A battle that not only we can't win, but we will end up making a fool of ourselves trying to win in the process. And it's really not that easy to make way for something that needs to be done. And just a while back I talked about this Agenda 2030 thing that the United Nations passed. And like I said, we're more than likely not ever going to be able to control that unless we do something about it. Only then will we have an opportunity to guarantee ourselves a prosperous future. But most people these days, they're too busy to give a damn about that. They're too busy to care about that. Because they have other things on their plate that they need to get done that they try to get done but end up having to put off because of news that they hear on the news, because of things that they hear online. But the way I look at it, if it's something we can't control, then we might as well just let it happen. Otherwise, we can still do something about it. So, as far as I'm concerned, if we have a chance to control things that we can control, then we've got to do something. But if something cannot be controlled and we can't do anything about it, then sometimes it's just best to leave it alone. That's all I'm going to say.